It's crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, what? Oh, God damn it. Again, that's 2 in a row.
You didn't say anything.
I don't ever say anything.
God.
Well, welcome to the next episode of the Department of Nerds podcast. Fuck. Sorry, I'm moving kind of slow because I ate a Baconator and some spicy nuggets, and I literally heard myself get fatter. It hurt my body grow. It was disgusting.
I could use it.
Huh?
I said I could use it. Whole 4 foot 4 inches of me.
You know you're not 4'4". Please tell me you know you're not 4'4".
I'm below average in that aspect.
Oh yeah, you're like 5'6".
7, 8. Driver license says 8.
Your driver's license is wrong because I'm 5'8".
So you lied.
We're the same height.
No, we're not.
Iron Man 2 Hulk. Like, come on. This isn't even a relevant rabbit hole. This is so completely far off. It's dumb.
All right, so we're on part 2 of our MCU journey, part 2 of 10.
Jesus.
Yeah. Did I just hear a child?
It was on the phone.
What are you watching on your phone?
No, stop.
Disgusting. First off. Churlish. Insubordinate.
Go see Mr. O'Shea
Hennessy. That's a show. We're done.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Good Lord.
3 minutes in, we have gotten nowhere.
All right, so we talked about Iron Man, Captain America, and Captain Marvel last week. We are going to talk about Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, and Thor. And then next week we will get into the first Avengers movie.
Stop, real quick. I was
Stopping.
just watching Infinity War while I was putting the dresser together, by the way.
You're so many parts ahead.
But anyway, I caught it, all right? He said, he was talking to Pepper right before, the whole thing happened. And he's like, I had a dream. We had a boy. His name was Morgan. Didn't put it together that his daughter's name is Morgan.
Yeah.
Just till now. So that's where I'm at in life.
You didn't figure that out when Endgame came out?
Didn't catch it.
Yeah. Time travel. All right. So speaking of Hulk, we're going to dive right into that one.
It was such a bad movie.
Incredible Hulk was not a bad movie. It wasn't a great movie, but it wasn't horrible.
Well, it was overshadowed by Iron Man. Because it came out in 2008, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it came out like a couple months after Iron Man.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It still had everyone still had Iron Man on their minds, and that was a great one. So
yeah, very much so. Here's my thing with Incredible Hulk. The issue that they've run and this actually is like the first crossover technically because it was filmed by Universal.
Yes.
And Hulk is still owned by Universal, and this was a Universal Hulk movie. But it had everything from that phase of the MCU already put into it.
Was it filmed or was it just distributed by Universal?
Believe filmed by Universal.
I know Universal has some form of rights because every time I go to Universal, I ride the Hulk. And I always thought that was weird until, they...
Oh, so you and Hulk play hide the zucchini?
It's just going to be terrible.
It's going to be so bad.
Time travel. Anyways. Fuck.
So I've got a list of Easter eggs from the Incredible Hulk.
Of course you do.
Of course I do. And Iron Man 2 and Thor. So the opening sequence where they showed when they were doing like the credits and everything, that was a remake of the 1978 Incredible Hulk TV series process of how it all happened.
What do you mean?
Like, in the lab where he becomes the Hulk.
Oh,
They
okay.
remade it.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The easy Easter eggs, we saw Stan Lee appear.
Drank the soda.
Yep. We saw Lou Ferrigno as a security guard. So Paul Soles, do you know who he is? He's the voice of the Hulk in the original animated series. He played Stanley, the owner of the pizza restaurant.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. The same serum that they used on Blonsky is the same super soldier serum that they used in Captain America.
But how does that make any sense?
Well, it's the same stuff that they used, but it's what they were trying to replicate. But they coupled it with...
It's based on it. It's not it.
It's the same color.
Okay. So it was blue Kool-Aid and... blue Kool-Aid's about all you got. Anyways. But
there was no more of it, though.
Yeah, there was no more of it, but remember when they took his blood in Captain America? That's what they used to try to replicate it, and that's why Hulk became the Hulk. And then they gave the same stuff that Banner used to turn Blonsky into Abomination. So when Ross
just to give him strength and agility, but obviously that's
they gave him too much.
A lot of it.
Yeah. So there is a portrait of Captain America when Ross is talking to Blonsky about the super soldier program in that lab area. Little nugget there.
Nugs.
Yeah. We saw the SHIELD logo appear when they were searching for Banner, but that was the first time it appeared in an MCU movie.
But was it SHIELD then? Was it not? Who knows? It was back in 1990 bullshit, but it wasn't 20 years later.
Time travel. So, no, that's the same logo that they used when they used that logo for the first time because this took place after Iron Man. So they already had SHIELD, but this is the first time we see the logo. And one of the articles in there, they said that there was animal webbing appearing on humans, and that's to be believed a reference to Spider-Man.
Quick interjection.
Interject.
Quick.
Production company for 2008, Incredible Hulk. Marvel Studios, Valhalla Motion Pictures, distributed by Universal.
Got it. Okay. All right.
So it was.
So
It was filmed in Marvel Studios, but Universal had distribution rights.
Correct, which means they got the money pretty much. But it was so basically, yes, it is not a kind of in the MCU. It is definitely an MCU movie. It's just Marvel didn't get as much money for it. It didn't make that much either. Only made like 114 million. Only.
Yeah, only. I mean, I'd love to have 114 million.
Starting out for the MCU.
Yeah, but these days, well, even back then, that's
compared to what Iron Man made, that's not a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a flop. If they don't double their money, it's considered a flop.
Right. They passed their budget, so they made money on it, but it wasn't much.
Well, after paying everybody, and if that certain actors took, a percentage.
Right, that's what I'm saying. After they broke even, they did not make much.
Nah.
So the other. Oh, go ahead.
And there was the other issue with. Are we going to talk about that? The fact that Edward Norton was kind of a prick, pretty much, from what I hear.
Please.
Oh yeah, no, we'll talk about that after we go through the Easter eggs.
Okay. Proceed.
So you guys remember that scene where they're under the rock, kind of in the little cave, and there's the storm going on, and Hulk yells out when he hits his head?
Yes.
That's believed to be when Thor's hammer is coming to Earth.
Is it Thor's hammer or when Thor is coming down?
No, that's when Thor. Well, it actually might be both because they both happen simultaneously.
Yeah.
But that's a scene taken straight out of the comics. But
here I got one, and I didn't catch till now. one of the guys, in the Hulk, some computer tech guy, whatever, he ends up being a teacher at Midtown School of Science and Technology. Same exact guy.
I did know that. I can't remember his name though.
The actor or screen name?
Yes.
The character.
Mr. Harrington.
Oh yeah. I did know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's the he's in Spider-Man: Far From Home. They go on that Europe trip. He's the
Mathlete teacher.
Yeah. Let's see what. See this one I don't believe it, but it's kind of. I'm gonna have to go back and look at it. As Hulk's fighting Abomination, a figure is seen swinging over Abomination's right shoulder. It's presumed to be Spider-Man, and it's a cameo. I don't believe it, but it's a nice little nugget to think that maybe it could have been, but they didn't have the rights to it, so it was obscured.
Yeah, they didn't even have like a deal yet, so
right.
I doubt it.
I do too, but I'm gonna go back and look.
I'm watching it right now.
Oh, okay.
Let's just stop everything and wait.
No, I'm gonna keep going.
Dalton watches it right now to let us know.
Nah, I am going to let you know. Because that's what I said.
In an alternate ending for the film, Captain America appears frozen in a block of ice as an avalanche carries him away, which would have made no sense to how they found him in the first Avenger.
Hey, 100% there is. 100%. It's Spider-Man. You see a dude jump off a building, swing a little bit, and then it cuts.
Really?
Yes, it's extremely obscured, in the dark, shadowed as hell.
So it's basically just a stick figure going behind him, but it's doing Spider-Man motions.
They basically threw a mannequin and tied a rope around his neck and just.
So that doesn't make any sense for the MCU.
You would make that reference.
That doesn't make any sense for the MCU though. That doesn't make any sense for the MCU because Avengers took place in 2012, and fast forward 3 years to Civil War, and
first look.
3 or 4 years, and he even says 6 months ago I didn't have these powers, and then I got them. So none of that makes sense.
No, but it's there.
Well, 100%. Is it possible that somebody just kind of said, "Fuck it, let's throw this in there, see if they notice it"?
Maybe.
Some rogue person.
Maybe, and just hear me out on this little rabbit hole we'll go down. Maybe somebody did that hoping they would get Spider-Man for Avengers 1. It never panned out until after Age of Ultron. But now that they've done Endgame with time travel and multiverses is coming, they could go back and say it's a Spider-Man from a different universe.
I don't know if I like that.
It's a good way to clean up any mistakes they made throughout the movies. I don't like it, but it could lead to something. It could lead to something tying into a live action Into the Spider-Verse. Could be Tobey Maguire. I know.
The rights and everything were fucking everywhere at that point.
I mean, really, with the whole time travel and different universes,
they can do anything they want.
They have an eraser, basically. It's like, no, that didn't happen that way. It's because of time travel. Done. There you go. That's how it's explained away. Time travel.
Right.
Drink.
But I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere in the next 5 to 10 years we see a Spider-Man movie where it shows Spider-Man, some version of Spider-Man, swinging, and you see just to the left Hulk and Abomination fighting a little bit in Brooklyn. And it's him going off to do something completely different, and he can't handle what's going on there because he's doing something else. And it's just a quick 1 second glimpse because he's swinging.
Yeah, swinging.
So, I don't know, just a thought. Okay, so next we've got the scene in Samuel Stern's lab. Chemicals fall on him. We all know what that was a nod to. Do we, Dalton? No?
Which
I don't
scene?
remember the scene.
Where the chemicals fall on his head and his head starts to grow?
Oh,
Leader?
fuck, me and you talked about this, yeah.
Leader, yeah. I'm curious if they're going to do anything with it anymore.
I mean, didn't he, like, die?
No.
No. It just shows his head growing and him smiling like, oh, and that's where it ends.
Oh,
And they
for some
didn't
reason I
even
thought-
kill Abomination, which means Abomination's somewhere. And now that Thunderbolt Ross is back,
Ooh.
we may see Abomination at some point in the future. Maybe. Probably not, though. But maybe.
They have the option.
They do.
I mean, Hulk already beat him technically, so if they brought him in and there's another super in there, then it's going to be nothing.
I mean, if they do make a Hulk, they start making like some sort of Hulk movie, it could appear, even if only like as a villain at the very beginning, as someone that Hulk
Kind of like Crossbones did in Civil War.
Yeah, someone that Hulk just kind of takes out as part of his normal gig, essentially. It's kind of a nod, since they seem to be killing off, or ending.
Like, hey, we didn't forget this guy existed, but we're going to go ahead and clean that up now.
Yeah.
So.
Good.
So we already know about the Abomination reference. We already know about Tony Stark's appearance at the end in the post-credit scene, where he says he's putting a team together. That's obviously a reference to the Avengers. After that, it's further explained in the Marvel one-shot, The Consultant, which I have not seen all the one-shots yet, but I will go back and watch that. And then one of the final spoken Easter eggs was when General Ross was talking to Blonsky. He was talking about the experiments in World War II, and that was a direct reference to Captain America.
So
and that is all your Easter eggs from this movie.
Question for both of you.
Answer for
Please
you.
tell me I am not the only one that laughed my ass off in that scene. The first after Blonsky got his first dose of the serum, and he's being pretty badass, but then he gets right in Hulk's face, and Hulk just kind of kicks him
Bitch
into a
slaps
tree.
him.
A rock. Yeah.
Oh, I die every time. Every time. Here's my thing with this movie. It was good, but it looked like they were trying to do way too much in 2 hours. Like, it wasn't an origin story, which is great. Because how many origin stories do we fucking get when they try to reboot everything?
I think I wouldn't doubt if they were doing that because they don't have the rights, or they didn't have the rights. So they were trying to fit in as much as possible.
Well, and
for their own storyline. Let's think about it. It brought in Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah.
It brought in the connection to Avengers. Like it kind of at least introduced his storyline, his origin, if you will, at the very beginning. It brought in the possibility of not only Abomination but Leader. So yes, they did a whole lot, but they kind of, I think
let it go.
I think it could have been a rights move because they didn't have the rights. They had limited rights. They could use it, but it wasn't theirs. So it was like let's put in as much as we can without going overboard and go with that.
But I think that's where they fucked up, is they ended up going overboard without going overboard.
Fair enough.
You know?
I mean, I liked it.
Because what they did was they laid groundwork for a few things that never, ever panned out. Because, like, the love story between Bruce Banner and Betty Ross is a fucking huge, huge storyline in the comics. And then all of a sudden, when he gets brought in the Avengers, he switches his eyes to Black Widow.
I mean, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, obviously. But I'm just saying, why wouldn't they revisit that at all? She's not mentioned again ever.
He's been in hiding for so long at that point.
I understand that, but he was in hiding for a while before.
But her dad's still in the universe, and he still, has appearances. Like, why isn't she?
I understand that they probably couldn't get Liv Tyler to do any more movies, but not even a mention of the character.
Well, let's look at how important Jane Foster is to Thor.
Very.
And she gets little side mentions until recently, obviously.
Right.
Until what's coming up.
I mean, she was in 2 of the movies. The third one, she got mentioned.
Yeah, so it's one of those. The world's open for them, especially now. They have everything.
They got time travel.
I should drink every time time travel is mentioned.
Oh God.
Time
I'm not drinking today, so that sucks.
Within reason, fucker.
Huh?
Talking to Dalton.
I said time travel, and he's like, within reason.
Can't just be like time travel.
I mean,
I like potatoes. Time travel. No, that's not cutting it.
That's 2 drinks, by the way, because you said it twice.
No, that wouldn't count either.
But I feel like they could have at least mentioned her and been like, she's gone and he's never going to see her again, kind of thing. At least close it out, because it's not closed out.
Maybe it's not closed out for a reason.
At the end of maybe. But at the end of Incredible Hulk, he sends her back her necklace. So, you remember when he gets that little cabin out in the middle of fucking nowhere?
Well, here's the thing. Black Widow's out the way.
She is out the way.
but time travel.
I mean, he's not wrong. That was a very good place to say that. Omar's going to be hammered. We're only 20 minutes in. I kind of feel like they did it dirty, because they could have at least mentioned it at one part. You know, they mentioned Jane Foster and Pepper in Age of Ultron, but they could have easily mentioned, they could have even mentioned Betty Ross in Iron Man 3 in that post-credit scene.
Here's the thing. Maybe it wasn't that obvious to some people. Maybe it's really only Thunderbolt that really knows about that connection. And it's something he doesn't like talking about.
Maybe.
And it's one of those things that's like, it's a fucking, to him, it's a deep, dark secret he doesn't want to have be out.
True.
Think about who you are, and your daughter is getting it in with huge green penis.
The zucchini. Like Dalton likes. Yeah, you do go ride the Hulk. Heyo.
No hands.
I'm leaving it alone.
So it's open for them. I think if anything right now, everybody's kind of just, especially with our current situation with everybody, with everyone kind of stuck at home, everyone's just kind of anxious and like, give us something to look forward to.
Right. I feel like there's going to be a lot of trailers dropped this year just to curb the need.
Yeah, it's.
Because, I mean, I don't know if you guys are like me, but when a trailer comes out, I watch it about 1,000 times.
That doesn't surprise me.
I watched Morbius at least 30, easy, and then probably another 20.
I didn't watch it that many, but like Avengers Endgame, I watched that trailer about 500 times.
The first one? No, the Infinity War trailer.
Oh, Infinity War trailer.
I watched that one that one I probably watched at least 100 times or so, repeatedly.
Yep.
Chills every single time. When you hear Thanos' voice, like the voiceover.
And then you see him.
Yep.
Ooh.
I watched that one often.
Just got chills again.
I also watched it when the Comic-Con, when they showed it on Comic-Con.
Oh my God. Hearing a crowd reaction to it.
Yep.
So did you ever watch back when, even though it was a terrible movie, X-Men Origins Wolverine came out?
Unfortunately, yes.
The Comic-Con trailer viewing?
Mm-mm.
Oh, the minute Hugh Jackman, because all they did was show the teaser. It just showed Liev Schreiber. He said, "So how are you going to kill me? How are you going to do that?" And Wolverine's like, "Well, I'm going to cut your goddamn head off for starters." And they exploded. It was fucking awesome.
I don't know, because this happened when I went to see what was it, Endgame? You know that one scene with the thing and that goes to the person. He does the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's.
Oh.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking? Okay.
I was wondering if you were just gonna say it. I mean, if they haven't watched Endgame by now, shame.
I'm just trying to,
I'll
not
put
go
it
down
no,
major rabbit holes.
If they haven't watched Endgame by now, there's no chance they are watching this podcast.
Very true.
Anyways, I think that's the biggest theater erupt I've ever heard, and I was there.
Oh, absolutely. Because when I went to go see it in theaters for the first time on opening night, I was jumping. I was fucking excited. I literally launched out of my seat because you saw the hammer come up. You saw it hit Thanos, and as soon as it went back to Cap, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Mm-hmm.
The whole theater was fucking insane. It was ridiculous.
Before that, it was Infinity War when Thor came down in Wakanda.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was probably another one. I'm like, God, well, fuck.
Yeah, like you knew it was gonna happen.
Like I'm as hard as a diamond in an ice storm right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. Yeah, process that, bitch.
Well, apparently so is Hulk when you go and ride him.
No hands.
Oh my god. No, I get it. When Thor came down in Infinity War, I went 6 to midnight. When Cap picked up the shield, I about exploded. It was. Anyway, back to
Black Widow Taskmaster. Black Widow.
No.
It's all possible through time travel.
That was bullshit.
Good enough.
That's what she said?
He's not fighting it. Oh, Christ.
All right, so do we got anything else on Incredible Hulk?
I don't. It wasn't that good.
Like, see, that's the thing. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was great. I thought it was good.
I thought it was better than Thor Dark World, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Second Thor?
Yeah.
I love that one.
The first one was worse than the second one.
You think so?
The only good part of that movie was another, and he slams a coffee cup. That's the only part I liked.
And Stan Lee's cameo was probably my favorite part.
Yeah.
Truck.
Yep. Did it work? Oh, yeah, there's another interaction from the watch.
I have a package for Tony Stank. Yeah, interactions for days.
But he was actually driving a vehicle.
But again, who was he talking to?
People hooked up the chain on his truck to the hammer, and he drove, and it pulled the bed off his truck. That's interaction. We'll get to that because Thor is coming after this next movie we're talking about.
He was also having a discussion with a bunch of watchers. He was telling them what's up.
Anyways, Iron Man 2.
Those watchers went and talked to Jane Foster at the coffee shop. We'll get to that when we get to Thor. Son of a bitch. Iron Man 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, first Easter egg I'm going to drop on you. Where is it? I lost it. Oh, yeah. There was a nod to Favreau in Swingers.
Really?
Remember that fun little scene where Justin Hammer did his little dance?
At the end of towards the end
the
of the
expo.
movie?
And the song?
Mid-movie.
And the song, Pick Up the Pieces?
Yeah.
That was a nod to Swingers.
Interesting.
Very. Now, we all know Olivia Munn was in that movie for a brief moment, because back then she was rumored to be the Wasp in the Ant-Man and Wasp series that they were talking about doing way back then. It ended up not panning out, so just ignore her existence in that movie.
Well, she's in could be coming to MCU, about to say, because she's the laser sword lady from...
Psylocke?
Psylocke, yep. Latin.
Wow. Laser sword lady.
Good.
From, you know what I'm talking about, right, though?
He just said Psylocke. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
I don't know. You motherfucker. Time travel.
No, that was not valid.
The other thing, Incredible Hulk takes place during Iron Man 2.
So that would mean that Thor happens during Iron Man 2?
Thor happens... Part of Thor happens during Iron Man 2.
Because if Thor and the Hammer are falling during Incredible Hulk, then that would mean that if Hulk is happening during Iron Man 2, then part of Thor is also happening during Iron Man 2.
Yes, which we saw that Incredible Hulk takes place during Iron Man 2, and in the middle of Iron Man 2, Agent Coulson leaves to go because of the hammer in New Mexico.
That's right.
Yes.
Home arrest, and he destroys his home.
Which goes all the way back to Incredible Hulk, where he's yelling at the storm because Thor and the hammer are falling to Earth.
Well, no, he's just yelling at the storm because it's Hulk. Hulk at that point was just an angry toddler.
There is another part of that where it shows that Incredible Hulk takes place at the end of Iron Man 2, where Stark and Fury are at the S.H.I.E.L.D. safe house. There is a news report going on at Culver University, which is exactly where the battle happened on the college campus. So they're showing a little bit of that in there. Now, it could have been like a replay, but it also could have been a live news story. And right after Iron Man 2 is when Stark goes and meets up with General Ross at the bar.
I also like how wasn't very subtle, but was it Budweiser or Bud Light? It was the fluorescent sign right behind the bar. It was there.
What does that have to? What is it?
They're like, yeah, okay. So in Transformers, right? Marky Mark takes a Bud Light straight up to the camera, smacks off the alien ship, and chugs it. Like, come on, it's like they're promoting, but it's not subtle.
What does that have to do with anything?
He just brought it up, the bar scene. I'm like, whatever. All right, fuck me, I guess.
I brought up the bar scene because General Ross met with Tony Stark. It was key.
Time travel.
And General Ross was drinking a green beverage that has been named the Incredible Hulk. Also, Nick Fury's fucking old, by the way.
Yeah.
It's known in the comics that Nick Fury fought alongside Captain America in World War II. And he was part of an experiment to give him something called the Infinity Formula. It slows the aging process. And it was during the Cold War that he helped build S.H.I.E.L.D.
Which version of Nick Fury in the comics?
See, and that's where all this gets messy, because the version they're using in the movies is the ultimate version of Nick Fury.
Because the ultimate Nick Fury is literally based off of, as far as how he looks, is based off of Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes. So in Iron Man 2, you've got Nick Fury talking to Tony about his new father, or how he knew his father, Howard, and that he knew him pretty much better than Tony did. It's also revealed that Howard was a founding member of S.H.I.E.L.D. This pretty much makes you think that Nick Fury's kind of ageless.
Which
that's fucking crazy.
Doesn't make sense. Because you would think that if Nick Fury was giving something to affect how he ages, he would have a higher security level.
Well, he did go from 3 to 10 pretty quick in the 90s.
I know that, but I would think that here is this serum that makes you age slower.
True.
I would think that's more than a 3.
I got you. That should have put him at a 10 right away.
Unless time travel.
Wow. I don't know. It's just the timeline's all flunky because Howard Stark being part of the whole, what was it, SSR in World War II, and then he's alive and well in the 90s. Doesn't look to be that old. Looks old, but not that old.
Wait, Howard Stark is alive and well in the 90s?
Yeah. Captain America Civil War. Tony was in college in the 90s. I think it was 93 when Winter Soldier killed him.
Yeah.
And he didn't look too much younger in the 70s when they went back in Endgame. So maybe he also had it too.
Or
so they could continue using his brain. Or what? Time travel? Yep. Okay, so back to Iron Man 2. Captain America's shield. You guys saw it again. It's the same shield. No progress has been made that was used in Iron Man 1. I don't know if you guys went back and looked at that.
Oh, I did. Yeah, when we talked about it last, I did.
Yeah. You go back and he's getting the suit taken off after Afghanistan. It's right there behind him on the desk.
Yep.
So Captain America's shield is back. He uses it to prop up the tubing for creating the element for his new chest piece.
Yep. Coulson hands it to him. He's like, "That's what I need."
And Coulson's like, "You know what this is?"
Yeah.
Yes.
What I need.
It's exactly what I need. The other thing that I found was, the guys that broke Ivan Vanko out of prison?
Yes.
10 rings.
Confirmed or theory?
I don't know how confirmed it is. Jon Favreau said they were in Iron Man 2. That's the only logical thing that I can think of.
I mean, it would certainly...
It would make sense.
It would fit.
I don't know. I don't think it's very sound.
It would fit, but it's a little iffy. Unless... No, I'm just kidding. I'm not using it there.
Don't.
I'm not using it there.
Did you guys also notice that when Nick Fury gave Tony the crate from his dad, there was a map of Antarctica in there from when he was looking for Captain America?
I did not see that.
I did not see that.
What was it when he's rummaging through it and shit, trying to find the film?
Yep.
Can we briefly mention the fact that Tony's dad was ridiculously smart?
Yeah, he was a genius.
I thought this was already implied.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of overshadowed by the fact that Tony is Tony.
I mean, he made a park layout to be able to be made into an element.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those
later.
Things where it's like...
40.
And he even said, I'm limited by the technology of my time.
Howard Stark was more impressive than Tony Stark.
I agree.
It's possible that Howard Stark was possibly getting closer to people that are in it's closer to Wakanda than Tony was as far as technology. Maybe Wakanda's ahead of everybody. Like, Wakanda's ahead of Tony.
Yeah, absolutely.
By leaps and bounds.
And that's something we'll get into when we talk about Infinity War, because his nanotech, where do you think it came from? I guarantee you. No. I guarantee you.
Nice try.
After Civil War, he used his resources to talk to Black Panther to get some of his technology to help him make new suits.
Well, he also said, though, once he knocked old boy out on the street in New York, Banner's like, "Where'd that come from?" And he's like, "Nanotech, it's something I've been working on." And then he gets shot up in the air. So, something I've been working on.
I don't think. No, Civil War. Black Panther didn't have his nanotech suit yet.
Nope.
No, it was after Civil War.
Yeah.
It was like right after in the Black Panther movie.
Yeah,
which means after Black Panther, before Infinity War, Tony hooked up with him and got some nanotech.
Possible.
I don't know. I mean, nanotech was around during the Incredible Hulk. Or wait, was that the first Hulk? Okay, so
the Ang Lee Hulk. Truck on steroids.
And we want to talk about a horrible Hulk movie. Let's talk about that one.
No, hey, you know what? I got my movie so completely ass backwards. Disregard. Not even the same movie. All fucked up.
Okay.
I was thinking about G.I. Joe.
What? Wow. Not even.
Nope.
Not in the same wheelhouse there.
No, not. You're not even in the same state. We're two completely different companies that make mufflers and basketballs. That's.
We also get the Easter egg for Thor in Iron Man 2 where Coulson's got to go to fucking New Mexico, the land of enchantment. Then they do the post-credit scene where they show the hammer. The other thing that didn't really get discussed was at the end when Nick Fury is talking to Tony in the safe house. If you look at the map, there's a spot on the map where it shows Wakanda.
Yeah, right. It's like looking at it. It has like Europe highlighted or some shit, but right below it's Africa.
Yep. So. Yep. So anyway, that's all I got for Easter eggs. What do you guys? I mean, I like the movie. I wish they did more with Whiplash.
Honestly, I kind of liked his character.
I did too.
I liked his character.
I just wish he was in it more.
I liked his character. Oh, wait a minute. Was it confirmed or not that the little kid that puts up the fake little Tony Black, the Iron Man blaster, that's supposed to be Peter Parker.
Is it confirmed?
Yeah.
That was confirmed a year or so ago.
Yeah, I believe so.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, that's supposed to be Peter Parker.
Why is it never brought up like in Civil War or anything? I don't know. I wish it would. But
it would have been great if it was, but
that would have been perfect.
I'm pretty sure it was confirmed.
Hold on, I'll double check.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think so.
But that's supposed to be Peter Parker.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
And it would make sense. Peter Parker ain't stupid.
It would make sense that's a big connection.
But it's one of those that
the director didn't confirm it, but Tom Holland did.
Oh wow. That's pretty legit.
Pretty cool.
That's kind of weird though. Well, I guess it is 2008.
Yeah, timeline wise, it would make sense.
Yeah, that does, but that matches up.
Because he's in high school.
That is true.
So as far as timeline is concerned, it makes sense. So that is supposed to be Peter Parker.
No shit. I did not know that. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Or it wasn't, but now it is because of why, Dalton?
Time travel. Here, I got some Z-Quil. Fucking.
Oh God, no.
We don't need you passing out in the middle.
It doesn't work. As you can see, I drank that much in one night because it wasn't fucking working. So I just kept going and going.
That's cute. I drink half a bottle for one night.
Okay, the only thing that works for me really is an extreme unhealthy amount of melatonin or Ambien. But you know what I do in Ambien?
You sleepwalk. You time travel.
I walk and I take shit out of the cupboards and shit. Why? Don't know.
That makes sense. For another story, not on this podcast.
Fair enough.
I'll mention that. I'll tell you about it afterwards. And Dalton, both of y'all can know. But yeah, after this.
So keep in mind also that Sam Rockwell, the guy who played Justin Hammer, is the guy who was supposed to originally play Tony Stark.
I cannot.
But think about it from a character point of view. That was the role he is now playing. So obviously he's going to be different.
Yes, but at the same time, there are certain roles. Once people play them, it is hard to see anybody else in that role.
Not in DC universe.
Yeah, but Tony Stark. That almost is Robert Downey Jr. right there.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even if you go back in the comics from before RDJ was even probably fucking born, and you see Tony Stark, I mean, perfect. It
fits for what RDJ's life has been essentially. Like drinking, alcohol, drug, all that. Yeah, that's Tony Stark. Like, I don't care what anybody says. It's even to the point where there's a little, like, it's a tweet. It's an old one that said, "Hey, if Iron Man was black, who would you cast as Iron Man?" And it shows freaking fucking Robert Downey Jr. in
Lincoln Osiris.
Like, it's.
Oh, I'm sorry. Kirk Lazarus was his name.
There's nobody. I don't think there's anybody that could really fit that role.
Not at all.
To that extent. To the point where, as you said before, Dave, even Sam Rockwell said, if you don't cast him in this role, you don't have me.
Right.
I don't think there's anybody that could play that role like that.
I think the way they did it was great, and I really was hoping to see more of Justin Hammer in the movies.
Same.
I mean, we might still.
One of Tony's main competitors, and that's one of the main villains that he has in the comics.
We might still.
The main villain, that's the Mandarin. Or the 10 Rings, however you want to look at it.
Well, hold on. Wasn't he, what was it? Wasn't there a reference to AIM in?
That was in the third one. Or in the second one?
I'm pretty sure, because Justin Hammer was involved.
I don't know.
Hold on a second.
Google.
That's what I'm doing.
But in Iron Man 2, this is also our first sighting of Black Widow.
That's true.
And we get to, and this is that scene where she's fighting the guys off in Hammer Industries. That's the scene they're going to use in Black Widow when Taskmaster is scoping her out. So, what are we looking up?
AIM.
See if AIM had a reference in Iron Man 2.
I don't think they did, but I could be wrong.
I'm not seeing anything here.
Hang on, let me use my Google machine.
In Iron Man 3.
Well, yeah, it's all over Iron Man 3.
Yeah. It's Iron Man 3. It's not 2.
Yeah, no, I knew that, but did they not mention it in?
Nah, it's not in 2 at all.
No.
Hold
on.
Hold on.
Unless.
No,
Time travel.
Shut the fuck up.
You take a drink right now.
Right.
You instigated it.
No, it was not mentioned in there. So I got a question for you before we move on.
Okay.
What's up with the Roxxon Corporation?
The who what?
Roxxon Corporation.
Rockasons, Fort Campbell.
No, wrong.
Oh.
Roxxon Energy Corp. What is up with that? Because I did see a spoiler for Thor 4. Well, I shared it with you.
You did. I don't remember Roxxon. Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
So I want to know how this is going to tie in because we hear about it a little bit, and Iron Man had dealings with them. Anyway, we can get into that later on.
They're part that they meet with the SSR. They're tied into Stark Industries somehow. I'm just skimming.
They're the ones that had apparently put the hit on Tony's parents.
Oh, Roxxon Corporation is?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
They had killed the Iron Age storyline revealed that agents of Roxxon Oil had killed Howard Stark and Maria Stark.
And they're the ones who hired the Russians, which
Roxxon had also regularly been at odds with Project Pegasus regarding energy sources.
Oh.
Interesting.
Boy, oh boy. Look at all these tie-ins. It's a big world.
I don't think people really realize how huge the Marvel world is.
Right. Even just one universe.
Yeah. I don't think they really realize that.
But so what else do we have on Iron Man 2? We get Rhodey puts on the suit.
Yeah, there's that. That was
we get War Machine.
That was a fun when they're beating the shit out of each other.
In the house?
Yeah. When they're beating the shit out of each other in the house and basically Nick Fury calls Tony out and saying,
he's like, oh, so your best friend came in, whooped your ass, and stole your suit.
But at the same time, he let it be known, and Tony's like the look on his face and the way he responded, say, "Yeah, I let him take it." It was a Tony Stark equivalent of Cap kind of moving Mjolnir.
Mm-hmm.
Tony felt that Rhodey was worthy of having that suit. I think that's what that was. I think it was very obvious that even Nick Fury knew there is no way you would have, like, he would have been able to.
You wouldn't let somebody.
No, he did let somebody. That's the only way somebody would have taken that suit, is if he let somebody. And I think Nick Fury kind of said, you let him take that shit.
Yeah.
Because I think even Tony drunk would have manhandled him.
Oh, 100%.
If he was really trying to stop him from taking that suit.
He was the only one with the shit kicked out of him and, dehydrated, no food on a weird-ass planet. He's the only one to be able to actually beat Thanos to an extent, farther than anybody else got.
Very true.
Boy's got heart. Until
Thor showed up.
Yeah, the Stormbreaker.
Yeah.
I mean, what's Thor going to do without Stormbreaker?
Yep.
I think he'd actually give.
He put up a good fight.
He put up a good fight.
He got the shit kicked out of him by his sister,
who was apparently supposed to be much stronger than him.
That is true. They did mention that.
Well, he honestly didn't even kill her.
Oh,
I mean,
I'll put it to you this way. Dalton, do you have siblings?
Nope.
Okay. Dave, you do.
I do.
Is there ever a
Why you bring my family into this?
Hold on. Is there ever a situation where your younger siblings are going to be able to beat you?
No.
My little brother is hands down much better shape than I'm in. I'm a fat ass. But let me tell you something. If it came down to it, I'm picking him up and body slamming him.
So my brother actually tried to test this at my sister's wedding. Just a little friendly game. And he has ever since that day said, I'm not trying that again. I'm not a fighter. I'm a fat fuck. He is skinny. He is fast. And he is in way better shape than I am. And he's got the metabolism of fucking...
Me?
Yeah, he can eat fucking anything and not gain an ounce.
So he's basically Dalton?
Yeah.
I'm not skinny. Leave me alone.
All right,
Shut
little man.
the fuck up.
Okay.
You're the only one of us who can pull off a tank top. We got a lot of side boob going on over here. And not the good kind either.
Yeah, no, not the good kind at all. But no, I ran into a similar situation where I had to literally pick my little brother up and throw him down on the bed, tell him to calm down. You're not going to beat your older siblings. It's not going to happen.
The only one I'd lose to is my sister because she's a daddy's girl, so she'll just get my dad. And nobody can beat up their dad.
No, it's not going to happen.
Unless they're old as fuck.
No.
Even then.
Old man strength.
Dad, Jesus Christ. Dave, I think we talked about the history between me and my dad.
Did you just call me dad?
He did.
Yeah. You're like 48. Anyways,
Hold on. That could happen. You know how that could happen?
Time travel.
All right, well, we got one more movie to talk about. We're going to move on to Thor. So we've already talked about the Stan Lee cameo where he's trying to pull the hammer out of the ground.
Yep.
The after credit scene that ties in with Captain America where they've got the Tesseract. They obviously got it when Howard picked it up out of the ocean after Captain America. Which does not fucking explain how they got it for Project Pegasus in Captain Marvel. Continuity, people, and don't use the fucking TT. Don't. Nope. I'm not buying it. Because she was summoned before time travel got put in place.
Time travel!
Damn it. She was summoned before time travel got put in place, and the movie was made before time. No, don't you even fucking start with me.
Listen, the Hulk even calls it out, so you shut your mouth. That time, if you put time travel here, it only fucks up this timeline and that one. It doesn't fuck up that timeline that you think it's going to. Could have gone back in the 90s or earlier, got it, and veered off a timeline and just kept going with the standard MCU.
But we don't know that because of what happened with Captain America. Because Steve Rogers stayed put, and then he all of a sudden appeared over there.
So here is my problem.
Honestly, it's a clusterfuck because of time travel.
Here's my problem. At the end of Infinity War, we see the communicator from Nick Fury to Captain Marvel. Yeah?
Yes.
We agree?
Yes.
So that right there, then they announce, hey, you're getting a Captain Marvel movie, so you get an idea of what the fuck's going on. All right, cool beans, man. We don't have Endgame yet. We don't have time travel yet. We don't have any of that bullshit yet. So we get our Captain Marvel movie. All continuity is broken because all of a sudden Project Pegasus has the fucking Tesseract. And S.H.I.E.L.D. is already called S.H.I.E.L.D. Fucking, it didn't happen till Iron Man. There is no continuity here.
Hold on. The fact that it's a pager tells us that
I think it's just a comm device. I don't think it's a pager.
It's a fucking pager. I don't care what you say. It's a pager. That's a pager.
It is a Motorola fucking pager.
It's a fucking pager. I don't care what you say.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying
Don't use the time travel excuse for the shitty version of Captain.
He said it.
That bottle's gonna be gone before we're done.
What movie are we even talking about? Okay, I'm just making sure because
all of a sudden,
Thor. Okay.
The only reason I brought it up is because of the Tesseract. How did it get where it was in fucking Captain Marvel? How? Why?
Talking about Captain Marvel.
I don't give a shit. We never really covered it when we did talk about it.
We did. We talked about it, but not in a, like.
No, we didn't go. We're gonna go down this fucking rabbit hole before we get to Thor. Anybody?
Hold on. I'm Googling.
Is Project Pegasus a branch off of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Probably.
If that's the case.
I mean, hell, who else would it branch off through?
Fuck, I don't know.
Hold on. Well, and oh, God damn it, I really don't want to use it, but time travel. What if?
Yeah, do that first.
What if this has to do with the timeline that gets created when Loki goes off?
Loki went off in 2012.
But he has a fucking time travel device.
That's my thing, though. All this stuff happened before Endgame came out. So are we just going to say the fuck-ups that they had in the previous movies, especially Captain Marvel, are attributed to time travel? Is that what we're going to do?
I mean, they can.
Even before it came out,
look,
that's what we're going to test it to?
Yes, before it came out. Because there is no before or after when it comes to
time travel.
It's bullshit. It's a bullshit cop-out. That's a bullshit cop-out for a shitty fucking story.
It is absolutely a cop-out. I don't disagree, but at the same time, it technically does fix everything.
All right, whatever. We're going to move on.
Does it not? Can you not essentially explain it away? If you bring in time travel, you can explain it away. You can. Because really, nobody knows how the fuck time travel works. Really. Because we don't have fucking time travel.
That's two.
Oh, fuck.
Dave, you look sad or mad. What's going on? Let me hear all about it.
Fuck you. All right, let's get back to Thor.
All right.
So the post-credit scene tie-in was bringing Dr. Selvig into S.H.I.E.L.D. Shows him the Tesseract. We see Loki appear, but he's not there. And that's going to set us up for Avengers. We saw Stan Lee. We talked about that cameo. We get a glimpse of the Infinity Gauntlet in Odin's treasure room. It's when the Frost Giants are attacking. It's a very, very quick walk by.
And it's a fake.
And it is a fake. So there's a couple other... There's two nods to Thor in the comics. So one of them is there's a billboard in the town where he lands called Journey into Mystery. That's the comic that Thor was first introduced in, was Journey into Mystery number 83. And then Dr. Donald Blake. You remember the fake name he got? That was Jane Foster's ex-boyfriend?
Dr. something or other.
Dr. Donald Blake.
Yes. That's actually Thor. That's who becomes Thor in the comics.
That is Thor's alter ego on Earth. But the final one, we get a new character introduced. The sixth and final Avenger. Hawkeye.
Oh, shit, that's right. When he's trying to infiltrate the compound, he goes for the sniper, but he grabs his bow, which is stupid as fuck, in my opinion. But, you know.
It's Hawkeye. Of course he's going for the bow.
Well, like, why would he even go for the rifle? Like, what the fuck?
Because it's Hawkeye.
It's Hawkeye.
Because time travel?
No, nice try. Because Hawkeye.
Terrible try. It's because Hawkeye. I hated Thor of every single MCU movie to include Captain Marvel. Actually, no. I hated Thor as my number 2 most hated one because it was more or less a love story as opposed to a comic book movie.
Yeah.
But maybe it was a love story.
Well, after I saw who directed it, I understood.
Who directed it? I don't know.
Kenneth Branagh.
Oh.
So it made sense when I saw that. He's a good director. He wasn't good for Thor. But it was, I don't know.
That is Sir Kenneth Charles Branagh.
All right, whatever. Well, KB sucked. But we got the story that they wanted to tell for Thor, and I did not enjoy how much of it they focused on the interactions between Jane and Thor. I really didn't like the overall story of him going to Earth in exile, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
So since Dalton,
See,
since you're a fellow Potterhead,
Oh God.
you know who Kenneth Branagh is?
I really honestly don't.
Gilderoy Lockhart.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, that's who Kenneth Branagh is. He's Googling that shit right now.
If I'm also not mistaken, he was the bad guy in Wild Wild West.
You know how long it's been?
No,
since I've
he
seen
was
that
the good guy in Wild Wild West.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
That was Kevin Kline. And I will prove it to you right now.
We are going way off topic.
Yeah, we are. Kevin Kline played Artemis Gordon. Kenneth Branagh played Dr. Lovelace.
Yes, he did.
Ah, okay.
Yes, Kenneth Branagh is Gilderoy Lockhart.
That's insane.
Isn't it, though?
Here's the thing, though, and Dave, I don't know if you really understand this, but the Harry Potter movies, to go completely off topic for now, the Harry Potter movies pulled a lot of big names.
Yes, I did know that.
A lot of big names. Especially after the first one took off and like the book series took off. It was the movies were a huge deal worldwide. Worldwide. Wow.
Oh, here's another thing. He played another role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Really?
He did. Do you remember the distress call in the beginning of Avengers Infinity War? The Asgardian distress call that was going on in the background?
Yeah.
That was Kenneth Branagh.
Real? Oh, shit.
Yep.
Like saying this is not a warship. We have people.
Yep. That's him.
Character. Asgardian distress call in Infinity War. Yep. I
did know. I forgot he directed Thor, but then I remembered they pulled him because he directed Thor to be in Infinity War for a brief moment.
Apparently the fuck?
He was the main.
He's also listed as the director of Iron Man 2 post-credits scene.
Really?
Yes.
Shit.
Oh, yeah, because he directed Thor, and that scene was in Thor. So that makes a whole lot of sense. Because all they did was just took that clip and put it at the end of Iron Man 2.
True.
So that makes sense. But anyway, that's all I got on those three movies. You guys got anything else?
Negative. I think it's time for the random celebrity generator.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Now, we got to lay down some rules. We're not, going for 20 minutes on one thing.
Fuck it. YOLO.
Okay, fuck it. I have somewhere to be in 15 minutes, so just letting you know, so we got to do this.
All right, that's fine.
Got it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that thing. Nope, he's already in there. Okay. Dave, Jerry Seinfeld.
Wow.
Omar, Alec Baldwin.
Oh, that's easy.
I'll take Dustin Hoffman.
That one's a little more difficult. You said Jerry Seinfeld?
Mm-hmm.
Leader. We talked about him tonight.
Yeah.
He would be a good version of leader. Or I could even see him being an alternate universe older version of Mr. Fantastic.
Okay. Omar?
I've got the
Time.
perfect role for Alec Baldwin based on past roles.
Really?
Yes. So let me
It's
know
not
when
your
you
turn.
fit. I know it's not my turn.
Apparently, Alec Baldwin was offered a role.
What was he offered?
Um,
Hang on. I want to see if I'm right.
so he was either it didn't say which role, but apparently he was offered a role either in Captain America: Winter Soldier.
I knew it. I know
or
exactly
Guardians of
what
the
role.
Galaxy. I could see him in Robert Redford's role.
Yep, that was the role. Alexander Pierce. That was the role I was going to specifically pick him for.
Or the other one that's a possibility is apparently and I can actually see this one more is the Collector.
Ooh.
That'd be a
I can
good
see
one.
him in that role more.
I'm thinking about it. As much as I enjoyed Kurt Russell as Ego,
I could see that one too.
Alec Baldwin do a good
I
job
don't
on
think I don't see I see Alec Baldwin in
a directorship role. He could have been one of the ones on the World Security Council.
I can see that. I think he definitely needs to play an older role.
Absolutely.
Something that's not actually like involved in action scenes necessarily, but more commanding the people that are doing the action scenes.
Honestly, I could have even seen him as the leader, or not the leader, as Howard Stark for a little while.
I don't know.
Nah, not with RDJ as Tony Stark. I don't think I could see that. Like,
Okay.
I could see. Oh, though, I could see him as Nick Fury in a different universe.
I could see that. Getting off of Marvel, I could see Alec Baldwin playing the Bruce Wayne of Batman Beyond.
I could see Alex Baldwin
Yes!
playing the Bruce
That first
Wayne
episode where
of
he
when his
goes
dad
in
gets
and he
crazy.
has a heart attack.
Yes, I could totally see him as old Bruce Wayne.
Yup.
I could see him as Thomas Wayne when he goes batshit crazy, starts murking motherfuckers.
Oh, so when he's that version of Batman.
Yeah.
Yep. I could see that too.
I could see him as an older Wayne. I could definitely see him as that.
What do you got over there, fella? Dustin Hoffman, what you got?
So he's a character, but he's not like a character that's really there. I'm going to say, I know that doesn't make sense, but I'd say an older Agent Coulson.
I could see an older version of Agent Coulson. I could see that. I could have even been okay with Dustin Hoffman as Odin.
I don't think so. He doesn't have
Pym.
a, like, commanding
Ooh.
look.
Pym. I could see him as Pym.
Yeah, I could see him as Pym. 100%.
I could even see him as a version of Alfred in
Ooh.
Batman.
Yep.
Maybe.
Or Carmine Falcone.
Also, I think
These were kind of easy.
So here's the crazy part.
These were kind of
Nobody-
easy. I'm surprised.
So here's the crazy part about all this is that Disney Marvel at this point has become such a huge thing. They can get whoever the hell they want,
Absolutely.
which means big name actors are going to end up in roles.
Absolutely.
So I think that
And now that the timeline's about 5 years in the future, you
Time
can use
travel.
older actors.
well, why not?
You can use older actors for roles of people that were playing them 2 years ago.
Yeah. I think that at this point it's not like, oh, superhero movies are a fad. No, a fad does not last as long as Marvel movies have lasted.
Not at all.
Going on 15 years?
Yeah, no. There's no way you can call that a fad at this point.
I think the first one dropped in 2008, which was Iron Man. So
Iron Man.
we're at 12 years exactly.
This is not a fad.
We're at 12 years exactly, and we've got movies planned out till 2025.
People are waiting for these movies at this point. They're not looking for.
I bought Disney Plus just for Falcon and Winter Soldier.
So people aren't waiting for like Oscar winner movies. Like, yes, people are looking forward to it, but people are on the edge of their seat at this point because we've had so many years. We've had 10 years plus of consistent superhero movie. Like, it's not.
And it's all one storyline.
Exactly. So at this point, everybody's like, what the fuck is going to come next? And right now, that huge storyline that has spanned over 10 years at this point, finished. Everybody's, what's next?
Yeah.
Everybody's at that point. So you don't know. Nobody knows. People are going to make money.
Oh, for sure.
Everybody knows this is Disney and Marvel money that's going to be your career maker right there. Chadwick Boseman.
No, dude doesn't have to work ever again.
Look, fantastic actor. Was great in 42. But
nobody knew who he was.
No, but Black Panther came out, and all of a sudden, everybody knows who he is.
Yep.
That Disney Marvel money is a different freaking monster. So
that Disney Marvel money gets your name out there.
Plain and simple. Robert Redford is a
well-known actor.
Well-known history books type of thing actor. And even he has a Marvel movie under his belt. Samuel Jackson. Yes, true. Samuel Jackson has multiple Marvel movies under his belt. All of these big name actors are coming in because Disney owns everything. I mean, he owns
Sam
Star
Jackson's
Wars.
got like 8 Marvel movies under his belt right now.
They own Star Wars.
Yeah.
They own everything.
Yeah.
If we're going to talk about random shit we want to see, I actually want to see the Star Wars filibuster that Patton Oswalt did as a movie. Just for the fuck of it.
Did you know that he took that and he used that in his cameo in Parks and Recreation?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen the whole thing yet, but that was
also all unscripted.
Yep.
He came
what
out
are y'all
of
talking about?
Oh my god.
You ever watch the show Parks and Recreation?
I've watched it 18 times, all 7 seasons.
You remember the episode where they go and they have Leslie go with the short fat guy onto the old, basically living without electricity back in the 1800s, and they had to go plow the fields and churn their own butter?
Yeah.
In one of those scenes, Patton Oswalt, the short fat guy, he does a filibuster for the Star Wars movies.
Oh yeah, he talks about okay.
And then he brings up all the
X-Men and all that shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
but we don't see the full version, but they let him do it and they recorded it, but they only showed like maybe 15 seconds of it.
Well, he got in like the Star Wars universe at that
point.
But
here's the thing. They did that. He did that before Disney acquired the rights to like everything.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, they can actually use all of that. Like he brings in X-Men, Star Wars, all of it in one universe. And Disney owns the rights to it all. Part of me kind of wants to see that happen.
Basically a real life version of Super Smash Brothers.
Yes. Yes.
All right. If I'm not mistaken, one of you's has got to go. All right. So we're going to get out of here and just one more for the road. Time travel.
I'll take that one.
That's what she said.
Oh, God.
All right. We're going to get out of here. We'll see you next week with our Avengers Easter egg and recap. Avengers 1. So watch it, people.